Thank you, Robin, and welcome to our 21st Annual CFRI Education Conference. We are honored that you're taking the time this afternoon to speak to us. If you would kindly introduce yourself to our online CF community.
Okay, so my name is Robin Modlin, and I have a 27-year-old daughter with cystic fibrosis, and I have a 20-year-old daughter who does not have CF. And I have a wonderful husband named Doug. And we've been involved with CFRI for nearly 27 years. And I was on the board for 10 years. And so we usually come to the conference every year. And this year I was able to introduce the CF Courage Doll project that I did participated in and directed in this last year, in the last 9 months or so. I'm an artist and also an interfaith chaplain, and I've done a number of art and healing type of projects and participatory type of projects. And I really enjoy that type of interaction with people, with patients. And for myself, I need to use the creative and art for myself, for my own way I process my own grief, where I learn about my own life, is lots of times through the creative process. So I had heard about this type of a doll making project through my sister-in-law who had done a doll project, but it wasn't a focused project. And I had wanted to do it, and last year my daughter Anna was not doing very well. She was getting sicker, and I was realizing that I really wanted to develop a deeper sense of community with some other moms and explore it through a doll project. And so I decided to focus it on as being a CF Courage Doll project, and that the making of the dolls would be about how we find the courage to be the moms of these kids. And I found there were 9 of us who participated in the project, and we started last September. Everybody agreed to do the project. I put it all together. Each of us had a box for the dolls, and instructions, a routing sheet and instructions on how to make the dolls. The first instruction was to make the head of the doll. This doll here, her name is Light as a Feather, and Light as a Feather was the doll that I gave birth to. So we all gave birth in the beginning to the head and to the name, and we also have a journal that we started. So when we first started the doll, we started the story of the doll. Now, after we completed the head, and we each had a month to do each part, so there was plenty of time to be able to complete the process. And after we made the head, we named the doll, and we started the journal. We packed her in the box, and we sent it on to the next person. So then we would receive we received the head of someone else's doll, and then the next project was to do the body. And so we added the body, we added something to the journal, and again we were given a month, and then we mailed the box on to the next person. And then the next person received the doll, and that next person did, I believe it was the hair that was next, and they focused on the hair. And so I asked everybody, and I kept in contact with everybody through email, encouraging them, now you've received the doll, and now it's time to do the body. And I try to encourage everybody with the doll making to think about that the materials they were using were symbolic of something important they wanted to say about the doll or add to the doll. So this doll, her body became is a feather duster, which was really quite clever. And to write in the journal a little bit about what the part was about that was added to the doll. So there was some kind of sense of how the doll was being made to the journal and the journey of the doll. And so it was a full 9 months. of going through and doing all different parts of the dolls. So when we gave birth last fall to these dolls, this last June, the ninth person to receive the doll added any finishing touches, finished the story in the journal, wrapped them up in the box, so we had them beautifully wrapped, and then we had a doll party. So we all came together for the doll party and exchanged the dolls. We had lunch together, exchanged the dolls, and we each got to open our doll and receive our doll back. So we hadn't seen the doll for 9 months, and we had no idea what she was going to look like because we had just sent our little head off. And they all are so amazingly incredible. And of course, we were able to see the dolls during the whole year and see them evolving and developing, but then we were able to see them completed. They're all very, very different. And the thing that we remarked at the party was that many of them were just remarkably like the person who gave birth to the dolls. And it was really very interesting. We really felt like they were ours. And at the party, as we opened the doll, our doll, and received our doll, then we were able to read from the journal. We read our whole journal out loud at the party. Each person was able to read their portion of the journal. And so now we have these wonderful dolls that remind us of a community of women who came together, and every month we were able to think about the person we had their doll and send them positive thoughts and think about in our own life and how they brought something to us during that month, and what they were bringing to us, and then what we could offer on the doll to move it on. So it was there was a focus for all that time that we knew that doll was a part of our life.
Such a beautiful ritual too. And were the women are they all from California, or were they how did you come together?
Yeah,
the doll party.
Two of the women weren't able to attend the party, and one of them lived. It was too hard for her to come, and so we mailed the doll to her, and the other one wasn't able to come. We were able to give it to her too. So most of us, I mean, and that's I think pretty good odds they can get. Only two didn't have to come with time schedules and stuff. So
that is beautiful, Robin.
Yeah.
Congratulations on
Thank
that
you.
project.
And I think that everybody really received a lot with it. I know that I did, and I know I adore my doll. And she is just so beautiful.
Spectacular.
She's just spectacular. Look at her gorgeous hair and these beautiful
And
feathers
your
and these
must be
wings.
so proud and enamored of. I mean,
yeah. My daughters are
you.
used to me doing odd things. They really loved it too. And then another way to tell the story of the dolls, I put together a book. This is done on my computer. It's through iPhoto. A story of the CF Courage dolls. I have, and these are here at the conference, introduction to what the CF Courage dolls are. These are some pictures of the party. And then each doll has some photographs of the doll and the person who was the birth mother, and a little synopsis of the doll, who she is, what she means to the person. And so that was Sol. This is Rosie. This is Brigid. This is Gloriana. Princess Light as a Feather, Papina, Macy, Lieben, and Bridget. And those were all the dolls, and here were all the dolls together. So I'm offering these books at cost here at the conference for anybody who would like to have a copy of the dolls. I also have instructions on to be able to start a doll project.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Robin, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's a touching project.
Thank you. One other thing I wanted to say about Light as a Feather. I named her light as a feather because of something that I feel like I need, and I feel like we all need, is what she represents to me is that when things get very heavy, which they can in our lives with CF, we have to learn how to become light as a feather. And that's how we can cope.